Hey guys, so today I wanted to sit down and chat about some of my makeup and beauty spending goals for 2022. So over the past couple of weeks as we've entered into the new year, I've been doing a lot of thinking about what kind of goals I wanted to set as far as my makeup consumption goes for 2022. In the past, I've done a strict beauty budget where I set a budget for the entire year for beauty. Last year was a little bit more relaxed. So what I think I've decided I'm gonna do for the first 6 months of the year is a product specific no buy. I've identified some categories of my makeup collection and other parts of my beauty routine that I wanna really make a point to not purchase anything new for at least the first half of the year. I got this idea from Kelly Gooch. She does something similar on her channel, and I believe she does it for the first 6 months of the year too. And then at the halfway point, she kind of revisits and decides if she wants to remove any of those categories or add any new ones. So I'm gonna do it that way as well because I think it makes sense for where I'm at with my spending habits right now. I don't feel like I need too much structure, but I do have some exciting things happening in my life this year. We are planning on moving about halfway through the year. I'll definitely share more about that as things develop. But because of that, I'm really starting to think about paring things down and making sure that I am not having to pack a ton of stuff. So especially things that take up a lot of space. So that is kind of where my head is at right now. I do have two categories where I don't have a no buy that I'm putting on myself, but I am going to be putting a cap on the number of those items that I am going to allow myself to buy this year. One other small goal I want to set this year before we get into the product specific no buy part of this video is I would like for the total amount that I spend on makeup this year to be pretty even with the value of the makeup that I use up this year. So at the end of every year, I like to calculate the total value of my makeup empties. And I'm also going to be keeping track of what I spend on makeup this year. I am going to be doing my quarterly spending updates again this year, just like I did in 2021, where at the end of each quarter of the year, I share everything that I purchased, how much I spent. And so maybe at that time, I can also compare it to my empties total so far for the year, just so I can make sure I'm kind of staying in line with that. It doesn't have to be exact. Like if I go over by like $100, give or take, it doesn't really matter to me. But in past years, like I shared in my makeup empties analysis a couple videos back, if you want to check that, I'll link it. But my average makeup empties each year is usually somewhere between like $250 to $350. So that means that that's probably about the ballpark where my makeup spending will be this year too. So wish me luck. In 2021, I spent about $830 on makeup. So I would definitely like to bring that lower because I don't see my makeup empties total being that much higher than it has been in previous years. So I think that's what I'm gonna kind of aim for this year. But again, if it's not exact, I'm not gonna like beat myself up over it. So let's go ahead and talk about the categories I've decided I'm not gonna buy, at least in the first 6 months of the year. So the first category is face primers. This should not be too hard because I don't even really use face primers that often. And I currently have just one full-size face primer and one like deluxe sample of a face primer. And I would just like to use those. I don't see a need for adding any additional ones to my collection. And as it is, I'm not a big believer in primers, but occasionally the marketing can kind of suck me in. So I want to just refrain from buying any new primers this year, just knowing how infrequently I use them anyway. The next category is foundations. I do have more foundations than I think I really need to have at a time. I do have 8 foundations right now. And also knowing that I don't use up more than 1 or 2 foundations per year, which was another really interesting finding from my makeup empties analysis, where I went back and looked at all my makeup empties from the past 5 years and calculated the average number of each category that I use up per year. So knowing that, and also knowing that my current foundation collection is a little bit bigger than I really feel comfortable with, I don't want to buy any new ones. I do feel like I should probably bring up PR for this video too, because I do receive some PR. It's one of the perks of being on YouTube, and I can't always control what I'm sent in PR. I will be selective about what I do and don't keep, but if it is something that I feel like you guys would really want to see a review on, or I'm getting a lot of requests to talk about it in a video, then I will still keep it and I'm not going to beat myself up over that. The next category is concealer. Kind of, I feel the same about this as I do foundations. Again, I feel like I have more than enough concealers right now. I recently bought 2 new concealers kind of at the end of 2021, so I just want to, again, enjoy my existing concealers. I feel like I have a little bit of everything. I have some lighter coverage ones, some fuller coverage ones, so I really don't feel like there's any gap in my concealer collection, and I would just like to hopefully use up a couple of these this year and really don't want to bring in any new ones, at least for this first half of the year. The next category I've written down is magnetic single shadows. I bought quite a few of these in 2021. I think all the ones I bought were from the brand CRUELTY Cosmetics, and I do love their single eyeshadow formula. But what I've learned about myself is that I really do not reach for my magnetic singles very often. I don't know what it is, I just feel more drawn to my palettes. So I'm hoping to at least use the ones I have this year, kind of rotate through them between my monthly makeup basket and my Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan, but I don't feel like I should bring in any new magnetic singles. Who knows, maybe one day I will get back into magnetic singles, but for now, I don't need to buy any more of those. The next category is brow products. I like to keep a very minimal brow collection. I don't feel like I tend to get too tempted to buy new brow products, but I would like to really focus on using up my ABH Dip Brow Pomade this year. I don't know if I'll fully use it up. There is so much in that little pot, and I've had the same one since like the end of 2019, so it might just last forever, who knows. But because that is getting older, I would like to just focus on that. And I also do have the Urban Decay Brow Blade, which is a dual-ended brow marker and pencil. So I feel like I have enough in this category. I have a few different types of brow products, so I just want to focus on that. And same with brow gel. I only have one brow gel right now. The only exception to this would be if I run out of a brow gel, I would allow myself to buy a replacement, but I want to just keep kind of one of everything in this category for right now. Then we have makeup brushes. I have more than enough brushes. Right now I have like a little spinning brush holder. They fit in there, but if I had any more brushes, they would not fit in that holder. So that tells me I don't need to buy any more makeup brushes for a very long time, probably forever. Then I have some non-makeup beauty products that I also want to refrain from purchasing. The first one is nail products. Nail products of any kind. I rarely paint my nails anymore. I do paint my toenails, but I hardly ever paint my fingernails. I do like to use press-on nails for my fingernails, and I recently purchased a few in a Black Friday sale, so I think I'm stocked up on those for at least the next 6 months, if not longer. And I already have a really good variety of nail polish colors, and also knowing how infrequently I use them anyway, I have no need to buy any new ones. The only exception would be a base or top coat, but I just bought a new base and top coat in 2021, so I don't think that's gonna be drying out anytime soon, so I don't think I'll have a need to buy even that. Or if I run out of nail polish remover, then that's fine to buy, but again, I don't even think I will run out of that. So I'm thinking for me, the key with this product-specific no-buy is going to be to not even browse for these products at all. Let's say I'm at Target buying groceries. I don't really grocery shop there, but let's say I'm at Target for something else. I'm not even going to go into the nail section because I don't want to be tempted. I think for me, it's when I see something in a store and maybe it's on sale or maybe it just looks really cool. That's when I feel tempted to make a purchase, but if I don't browse, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. I won't even think about it. Makeup is a little harder, but I'm gonna do my best. I also put fragrances on the list, both body sprays, perfumes, perfume samples even. I am done buying fragrances for a while. Because in 2021, I really went down the fragrance rabbit hole, and it was kind of like a newfound hobby for me. So because of that, I ended up buying a couple of new ones. I bought a ton of little sample vials to kind of just like see, you know, what kinds of notes and scents that I like. And that was really fun. But I now have a very large perfume collection, at least for me. It's taking up quite a bit of real estate on the top of my dresser right now. So I'm thinking probably at some point this year I will end up doing like a perfume declutter, because there's some that I don't even really like as much as others now that I've kind of honed in on what my fragrance style is. In the meantime, I just want to use what I have, enjoy what I have. I found some amazing favorites in the last year, so I don't feel like I should be tempted to buy any new ones, but just in case. Again, not even gonna browse, I'm not even gonna look at sales, none of that. We don't need any more fragrances. And then the last category, this isn't really beauty, but I'm gonna throw it on here anyway, is candles. I also have more than enough candles to probably get me through the next 6 months. My weakness is Aldi candles because they're so affordable. Most of their 3-wick candles are $4, so I've been known to make quite a few candle impulse purchases while grocery shopping, which is fine when I only have like 1 or 2 candles in my house at a time, but I don't need any more. I have several backups already, so I'm just gonna burn through those before I even think about buying any new ones. So the goal is gonna be to not even sniff the candles at Aldi or any other store, and that way hopefully I won't be tempted. So those are all the categories that I'm not gonna be buying in this first half of 2022. Wish me luck on those. I think it should be doable. I think I can do it. Now, there are 2 categories of my makeup collection that I decided to put a cap on the number that I'm gonna be allowed to purchase this year. The first one is eyeshadow palettes. So in 2021, I purchased 9 palettes. I would like to slow that down a little bit, so I've decided to allow myself to buy 5 palettes in 2022. That might even be more than I will want to buy this year. Currently, I don't have any palettes on my wish list. I feel like my palette collection, as it is right now, it has plenty of variety. I feel like I have a little bit of everything. I've got all kinds of colors in my collection, so I feel like I might not even hit 5 this year, but that feels like a doable goal. I was toggling between 4 and 5. I was like, should I do 4? Should I do 5? I feel like 5 will be good. And I think the really good thing about putting this cap on palettes is that it's gonna really force me to think through a palette before I purchase it, because I'm really gonna have to decide, do I want to use up one of my 5 palettes on this for the year, or do I wanna wait? Do I wanna hold off? So that's what I think is gonna be really helpful about this. And then the other category is lipstick. I do think eyeshadows and lipsticks are the 2 where I could just collect and collect and collect till it gets out of hand. I do have over 30 lipsticks in my collection right now, and on average, I only use up like 1 to 2 lipsticks per year. So my cap for the year is gonna be 5 lipsticks. I know that's more than I'll use up, but I don't even know if I will want to buy 5 lipsticks this year. In 2021, I bought 6. So again, I think just putting that cap on more than anything is gonna really encourage me to think through those purchases, and then I may not even want to buy 5 at all. I do have lots of colors, but every now and then I stumble upon a really unique color and I'm like, oh, I need that because I don't have anything like it. So we'll see. I'm gonna do my best to stick to that, but those are my goals for the year for 2022. This is how I'm gonna plan to keep my spending intentional this year. I really do think intentional spending, conscious consumption is, even though I've gotten into some really good habits and I'm at a really good place with my spending habits, it's always something I want to keep in check, and I really enjoy sharing that journey with you guys. So if you're doing any kind of no-buy or low-buy in 2022 or anything like that, I'd love to hear about it down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you've not already, and otherwise I hope to talk to you very soon in my next video. Bye!